Hello, everybody. Good week. Two assignments turned in. Several people have emailed me questioning their scores on a few things. So keep in mind that last week we discussed what it means to submit a discussion board post. I gave you new access to different types of things, documents, the rubric, and I also talked about it in last week's discussion on little mini video. So if you have any questions, please make sure you go into the information tab and find those things out. Remember, your first post must be done within 48 hours of the chapter opening, and it is required to have some substance. And then the two replies that you make to two fellow students are also required to be substantive, meaning that you can't just say, yes, I agree. If you do not have those two replies in by the end of our chapter dates, then they do not count. So that's mission critical to make sure that you get that done throughout the week. Also why I require that you post your original initial post within 48 hours so people can get the posts out to you. So I just want to once again talk about the information tab right here. As the information tab is opening, again, if you scroll down, you will see that there's a textbook link. Some folks are saying to me there is not a individual chapter textbook link for each chapter, and that is true because it is an OER, which means open educational resource. Not every chapter is individualized or parsed out, which is why you'll be given either a chapter title or a title and a chapter number. And so you just have to open this link. I recommend that you open this link, and it's a PDF file that you save someplace to your computer that you can reference on a regular basis or on and off throughout the class. It also has a variety of links in there, and depending on what type of your computer you're using will determine how you access those links. But take advantage of those because not only do I reference them, not all the time do I put them into the actual assignment page. So you may need them to access through there. Okay, so once again, I want to take a look at content because some folks are confused about when things are due. So the technical, if you want to say week one of our course, was an introduction week. This is where you were supposed to click around, do different things, allow people to do whatever they needed to do to get comfortable. You had to attach your introduction quiz, you had to do a discussion board, you had all of those things. And as I said to you previously, all of that is sort of bonus extra points. They don't really count. Also, the other thing is that students are allowed to add the course. If we begin adding information and students are behind, then we break the rule of if your assignment isn't done on time, then you don't earn any points. And so I don't want to penalize students while we still have an add drop session. So all of you guys just click around. Assignment number one literally is what you might consider week two of class. But what's really important in order for you to keep yourself on track, there is no weeks written on these folders. You will see that they're literally dates. And so now we are at lifestyle disease prevention. That's our chapter, and that's what's going on at this point in time. So the dates are 2/11 through the 19th. Those are the dates in which everything must be completed for this chapter. Okay, so as we open this up, I just want to make sure that you're seeing all the same things that I'm seeing. There's some really great videos and some good information that's listed in here so that you can have access to it. The assignment, what is due, is literally a Word document. So assignment week 3 will open up as a Word document. People were having challenges with PDFs, so I made it a Word document, as you can see. It talks about reading these different chapters. There's some risk calculations. If you are having trouble or you're unable to review or use those calculators, then you want to write down in your homework why. What's the challenge? I wasn't old enough. Somebody called me or emailed me to tell me that. I don't know my numbers. Okay. Well, should you know your cholesterol? Should you know your HDLs? Should you know your LDLs? When would you know those? What happens in a well care visit? Those are some questions that you might want to ask yourself. How come I don't know those? Does my doctor know, but I don't know? Those are some good information for you to understand. So then you want to respond to the following questions. And again, you would not take this whole document and just write in here. I don't need to see all of these items. All I need for you to do is write out your answers in full sentences. So what actions might you include in your behavioral plan to lower your cancer risks? And so those are some of the most basic things. So this is individualized. It's not generic. It's not about people in general. Stop smoking. There's a great video on here that everyone thinks that if they eat, whether it's vegan or it's all natural or it's organic, that their lifestyle's better and they'll be cancer free. Great video on here to tell you some information about that. What do you think about that? Are you skeptical? Are you buying in? Do you need more information? So from all of those things, that's what you want to write in. Each and every week, we will be working on some sort of behavioral plan that you're going to build into your big portfolio at the end. What is it that you might need to change? What is it that you might need to consider? For this week, it's those behaviors that you may or may not associate with wellness. So that's important. Take that into consideration. The other thing is that each and every week we'll talk about new goals. And so if you're saying, wait, this seems repetitive, it is repetitive because each week we introduce a new topic and then we talk about your lifestyle plans and your goals for that topic. And so they are part of it each and every week. So I hope that helps you with this upcoming week's information. What I found to be a little concerning back in the week 2 exercise principles were some confusion that we had with what some of the differences were. So people, you'll see here, these are just the objectives. This isn't homework. When you go through this chapter and all the information, or through this week, and you go through all of the information that we have, you should be able to answer or have the ability to supply answers to those things. The objectives are not what you should be writing out or doing homework for. Those are the things that you're gathering and collecting from this week. And so that's something that's really interesting. So when we talk about describe the origins of exercise and what is exercise has been around forever, right? We had the Greek games, we had gladiators. Exercise and fitness has been a part of human nature and humankind forever. What's happening now is that we don't exercise and we have to find ways in which to incorporate it in, because quite frankly, our daily activities are no longer enough to keep our physical self challenged. And so that's what then comes down to. I asked you a question on your discussion board, and a lot of people had questions back at me, which is good. So you wrote down, what is the activities of daily living? And so are the activities of daily living the same thing as physical activity? It can be. And also, how are they different from exercise? So I got a lot of direct quotes for the definition of what exercise is, and that's fine. You can use those. Just please make sure that you reference it. But exercise is the planned activity done with a specific goal in mind. Increase my cardiovascular endurance, et cetera, et cetera. So in our very first chapter that we looked at, we looked at defining what are the components of wellness. And then one of the components of wellness was physical wellness. And from physical wellness, there are two different types of wellness components. And so one is health-related fitness components, and the other is skill-related fitness components. And so those are the things that everyone sort of got confused with, all the different components in the homework question. So cardiovascular, also known as cardiorespiratory endurance, is your body's ability to take in, transport, and utilize oxygen. So that is one component of health-related fitness. Muscular strength, muscular endurance, flexibility, and body composition are the four others. And so those are the health-related fitness components. But in order to get or improve any of those components, you must do a workout. Every single workout has three parts. Those three parts are or include a warm-up, always a functional dynamic warm-up, followed by actual workout session, and then finished off with a cool down process, which includes static stretching. And so those were the things from this chapter that we wanted you to understand, along with the components of exercise prescription. Lots of different components. Exercise prescription follows the FITTE principle, FITTE. F stands for frequency, I stands for intensity, T stands for time, the second T stands for type, and the E stands for the enjoyment factor. So those are some things that I want you to take a look at if you missed that in this chapter. And then how do you fit a successful exercise or fitness program together and into your lives? And those are the guidelines. How are you going to do that? And it's going to be individualized and personalized for you. So hopefully, as you're going back, you might want to take a look at that and see what's happening and what's going on. And then we will be able to address that a little bit more specifically next week when we begin our exercise session. First exercise session is scheduled for next week. So I hope all is well. And if you have any questions, please feel free to email me. Thank you. Have a great day.